Thank you very much for your time.
Talking about next 4 years for Malaysia, I just like to go back to Sarawak itself. When we first formed Malaysia, it was not free of charge, okay? There was something to it. There were reasons for us to be in Malaysia. There were reasons for us to agree to form Malaysia. Among the reasons was because Sarawak at that time, and knowing until now Sarawak is the largest state, not one of the largest, but it's the largest state in the country. And it's almost as big as the peninsula itself. So it was very green, and until now we still have a lot of greens there. And then another thing, we talk about security, we talk about developments. So we are always for reforms. Whatever reform it is, that as long as it is good for Sarawak. So that's what we are for. And one thing for sure, we were happy because we were allowed to keep our immigration autonomy, our land. We are in control of our land. So talking about equal status for us. So moving on, yeah, we were in BN because that's the only parent that we had at that time. Was it wrong for us to be in BN? See, we were helping to build the nation. We helped to build the country. We helped to build the state itself. So some people question us, oh, you were in BN, what do you do? We did a lot of things until what you are seeing today. So is it wrong? If it is wrong, then we should go back to before that and try to paint what Sarawak was like before. You should not discriminate us from Sarawak. Do you know that we contributed a lot to the federal government as well? Of course, the Prime Minister knows that. Some people in the government, they knew that. That's why certain people don't make noise, because they work with us. And I think you all have been reading that there is a special cabinet committee sitting now, headed by the Prime Minister himself. And he knows what Sarawak had done and what Sarawak is still doing. And I'm sorry to say here, a lot of people from Sarawak kept telling me, make sure you tell the West Malaysians that we feed them to become rich. I said, okay, yes, I'll do that. You know, the Twin Tower, yeah, we got a lot of money, but we only got 5%. Blame Sarawak for that, but we are helping Malaysia to build up the nation. So this is what we have been doing. Again, I'm asking you, is it wrong for us to do that? We are helping Malaysia to build up themselves, and we take the 5%, it's okay. But now we're asking for it. We are very concerned about economic reform here. When you are talking about economic reform, please don't discriminate us. Because whatever that we are asking for is very necessary and is very critical for us. We are still talking about some roads. We are talking about water, electricity. Then you will be asking me, well, you all Sarawakian your Sarawak government has a lot of money. Yes, it's true that we have a lot of money. But is it fair if it has all along been under the federal government and it is a shared responsibility, which is concurrent responsibility under the federal constitution, and it had been contributed by the federal government all along. So we were waiting for that fund, and it's been an ongoing process. And I must say that the previous government did not do badly for us Sarawak. If you ask about Sarawakian now, for those who are really sincere about development for Sarawak, we're talking about politics of development, they still want Datuk Najib to be there. Why? Because it was Datuk Najib who made it happen for Sarawak. He went to all the rural areas. He came, ever since he became a Prime Minister. I'm not trying to promote him, okay? I'm not trying to promote him, but let's face it. He knew what Sarawak needed. He came to Sarawak more than 60 times. More than 60 times. Because he went to all the rural areas, so it was made easier for us. I'm not trying to criticize any of the new ministers because, okay, excuse, they're new, and a lot of them have not been Sarawak. So again, ladies and gentlemen, talking about in 4 years, what it's going to be like, I hope that we all do our part. I'm not here to criticize anybody. I just want to make sure that the federal government is fair to us, especially on economic policy, because the people of Sarawak, they're only concerned about what is on their table every day. They want to make sure that they have food on their table. We don't care about your politics. This is what we want. Help us to build Sarawak. Help us to make sure that Sarawak will continue on to be developed. And remember, the money here is partly ours. How many of the states in Malaysia that have contributed to the federal government and get it? We are really in the need. And why do you cut all those budget from us? So, but thank God, Sarawak has 31 billion reserve fund and it's untouched, okay? It's untouched in our budget. And we have allocated a new budget, almost 11 billion. And this is where we try to pump in for our bridges, we pump in for our roads, try to pump in for all the projects that we require. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my opening for me to open up for you so that you can see why you're talking about MS63, why GPS becomes the stumbling block. I'll tell you in my next edition. Thank you very much.